what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the Progress series. So, before I get into this, I would like to thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers overall. It is such a huge achievement. I can't thank you guys enough for this. Feels so amazing to be at 3,000. And also, before we begin, someone asked a comment in episode 3. Hasty Death asks, what was the UIM crafting method you said in the last episode? So basically, there are two ultimate Ironman crafting methods that I know of that I've seen people do. Now, the first one I like to call the Kepi method because he's the only ultimate Ironman that I know that has actually done this crafting method for an elongated period of time. Now, Kepi42 is a very unique player because he basically plays the game in a really weird way. So, Kepi42 is currently going for 200 mil crafting, and the way that he does his crafting is he gathers the seaweed off the banks of Entrana, and he fills buckets of sand on Entrana, and uses the furnace on Entrana to make molten glass, and then blows that into whatever he can make. Now, that is the method, but what a lot of people have been doing on Hardcore Ironman that have been mimicking this method is they have been banking the blown glass supplies using the deposit box on the docks of Entrana. They're just right off Entrana. So they've been doing that, and it makes it a lot easier for some people because you can then turn around and sell those blown glass supplies to the charter shop or general store, whichever one, and then you can use that money to buy molten glass supplies for a bit of an XP per hour boost. So this method really isn't that great for gaining XP. I suppose it wasn't too bad for some people early game hardcore Ironman, especially since the next best method is the one that I'm going to say, and that is requiring lunar diplomacy as well as 77 magic. And basically that method you need a ton of cash for. Just saying, to get to 85 crafting for me doing this method, it's going to cost me 1.6 million GP just in runes, and then about 300k to 400k in supplies. So it is going to take us a lot of capital just to get to 85 crafting. Now, that in mind, we do not actually make any money doing this, so it's a complete loss, but it allows us to get our crafting level a lot quicker than if we were doing the other method, or if we were doing something like charging orbs, etc., especially on Hardcore Ironman where it's kind of risky. So, the method. Now, the method is fairly simple. You do lunar diplomacy and you get 77 magic, and this allows you to cast a spell called Super Glass Make. Now, Super Glass Make pretty much allows you to make 1.3 times molten glass the amount of supplies that you use. So if you buy the 10 supplies per charter shop, you'll make about 13 molten glass on average. Now, this is pretty nice because this actually gives you 3 molten glass more than if you were just buying the supplies, banking them, and then using them on a furnace. And it also allows you to use seaweed because it turns seaweed automatically. It counts it basically as soda ash. So you can have buckets of sand and seaweed and turn it directly into molten glass. You don't need to break down the seaweed into soda ash. So it's pretty nice in that aspect. So this is pretty useful, especially with the update that they made a few months ago where they made it so the charter shops are instanced from each other. Now, we already had instanced charter shops from mains, but now we have instanced charter shops from other port charter shops. This basically means that if I'm at the Port Khazard or the fishing trawler charter shop, someone at the Catherby charter shop will not affect my supply. So someone at the Catherby charter shop can buy out all the buckets of sand, seaweed, and soda ash, but my supply will still remain the same. Now, this means that I can actually go into a desolate area like the shipyard, and I can do my crafting method there because there is no bank deposit box, so people won't be trying to bank materials there. The only reason they would be there for seaweed and soda ash is if they were doing the method that I was doing. Now, this method also only requires you to hop between about 10 worlds, and is pretty nice because in all reality, if there are multiple people doing it, there are a few charter ports that do not have bank deposit boxes, and there are an abundance of worlds, so you can get away with easily doing this method and not really taking any, I guess, risk of exposing it, because one, a lot of people won't have the patience to do it, and two, it's vastly open, so it's very unlikely that you're going to get crashed or screwed over doing it. I'm sorry that the intro of this video was fairly long, but I figured I'd go ahead and explain that to you guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask me in-game. You can also ask them in the comments of the video. I probably won't be answering them on video every single time, but I figured since I'm going to be doing the one crafting method, I would explain both crafting methods on video. This way, you guys can have kind of a more in-depth explanation. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I am going to be back with 40 marks of grace, and then I'll be back with 60 agility, and we'll go from there. I think, like I said, I'm going to try and do some quests and some barbarian assault. My friend Scott is online right now, so we can actually go do barbarian assault at any time. I would like to get some defense levels before I go do that, though, at least level 20, and then we can go pop out a torso, and that'd be pretty nice. I don't know if we'll be able to get the torso this episode, though. Probably end up getting it next episode if we don't get it this episode. But if we don't end up getting it this episode, I will be doing quests to kind of make up for that and doing some early game training. So either way, I'll be back with the 40 marks of grace. Alright, managed to pick up our 40th mark of grace last lap, and we can buy the graceful boots now. So now we have the full graceful set, which is pretty nice because that is one of the most useful sets that we can get on an Ironman. We do have a few seeds in the bank, and I kind of want to start doing farm runs. So I'm going to go do some fishing on Intrana. You can do fly fishing there. And I'll probably end up banking the fish so I can also do the Death Plateau quest to get climbing boots, so we have some training boots. And then I'll probably train some combats, but right now I kind of need to get some food, and getting some early fishing levels would be pretty nice. We only have the 3 pieces of cake, 2 wines, and a lobster for our food supply, so we really do need some food. So I'm going to go ahead, go to Port Sarim, buy some feathers real quick, and also make some bronze arrows so we can train ranged and get some fletching levels. But I'll be back probably with some fishing levels, and then we can do some more quests and get everything on the go. But that is the graceful set. Very, very nice to have. So hyped about that. Alright, that should be enough fish. Basically, I only need 20 trout to finish off Death Plateau, but I would also like to have some extra food left over for some training. I'm going to do Merlin's Crystal, and then I'm going to do Holy Grail, just because those will give me some prayer levels and defense levels, as well as the Excalibur, which will be a pretty decent spec weapon, since it increases your defense. So that is pretty much the plan. I'm going to go ahead and grab level 15 cooking real quick so we can actually cook these trouts, and then I'm going to cook those in lumberage so we have a higher chance of succeeding while cooking those, and then we'll move on with the quests and everything and be all good to go. So time to go fish some shrimps. Alright, I finished Merlin's Crystal and started Holy Grail. We have to kill a Black Knight Titan now, which is taking quite a while. I pretty much expected this, though, because on Crashendo I used like 500 casts just to get this low enough to hit it with the Excalibur. But it's going pretty nicely right now. We should be able to finish the quest within the hour. Some people, I figured I might as well address this now. I think I showed this in episode 2, or maybe even in episode 1, but you can buy Law Runes and Cosmic Runes from Ali Morsane and Al Kharid after you've completed the Rogues Trader mini quest. Now, you don't need to fully complete it, you just need to do the part where you talk to Aubrey about Ali Morrisane selling runes for him. And then you also need to complete a Sudoku puzzle, small Sudoku puzzle for elemental runes, large Sudoku puzzle for non-elemental runes. Both are pretty easy. Shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to complete the large Sudoku puzzle. If you're using an online helper or something, it should be a lot quicker. But it does stock law runes, cosmic runes, and nature runes for early game, as well as blood and souls. It only stocks 10 cosmic runes, unfortunately, but they are pretty useful for some early game enchants, and the law runes are fairly expensive, same with the other runes in the shop, but I think it's worth it for early game teleports around the game. Definitely helps out with questing and everything, and since we have a lot of cash from blackjacking, wasn't too skimpy on spending some money on some runes. But I'll be back with the end of the quest, and we should be getting some defense and prayer levels from it. Alright, got the Holy Grail, so now we can talk to King Arthur, and we should be able to finish the quest. 15.3k defense experience, putting us up to level 31. 11k prayer experience, putting us up to level 31. And now we unlock Protect Item, which, well, that's not really useful to us because if we die, we lose our Ironman status, so whatever. We need to get level 43 prayer for Monkey Madness to be absolutely safe, but we only need level 40 to, I guess, skimp our way through it. I think I'm going to kill blue dragons for that, but I have to do Ghosts Ahoy first. I'm going to go ahead and get that smithing out of the way, though, real quick. This way, like I said, I can finish off Death Plateau and even do the Knight's Sword and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go grab that real quick, and I'll be back probably with the completion of Death Plateau. Alright, let's finish off Death Plateau. This should be the last part, and the IOU too. And Death Plateau completed. 3k attack XP. Oh, I think we gained an attack level off of that. Yeah, we did. Cool, 45 attack, and we can now get climbing boots. I managed to get level 15 smithing as well, and I made a few extra iron bars, so we're going to go do the Knight's Sword real quick. I need to make a red berry pie, though, so I need to go grab a pot of flour. I believe I can get that from Port Sarim, so should be pretty quick on that. After we do the Knight's Sword, I think I'm going to try and finish Pirate's Treasure and Prince Ali Rescue, and also probably try and do Goblin Diplomacy, and then we can move on and do the Druidic Ritual, Black Knight's Fortress, and Recruitment Drive, and that should be good for questing for a while. So talk to this guy and buy some climbing boots. Now I need 2 pairs of climbing boots, one for training and the other one to make into spiked boots when I go to do Desert Treasure, and I'm going to pick up a 3rd pair just because you need one for a clue scroll. So we have 3 pairs of climbing boots. Climbing boots are best in slot for us for now. I'm going to go make that red berry pie and do the Knight's Sword, so I'll be back with that. I found a pot of flour in the bank. Hopefully we do not burn the red berry pie. Please do not burn the red berry pie. I fucking hate my life, dude. Attempt number 2. Good thing we got attempts number 3 and 4 here. Hey, there we go, number 3. So, that was a bit annoying, but okay. Free smithing levels inbound. Thank you very much. 31 smithing. Black Knight's Fortress. I got the ores for Doric's quest. I'm going to go do that as well. And I already have the bear and rat meat. And I already have the chicken and raw beef in the bank. So we can finish Druidic Ritual. And then we can start Recruitment Drive. All in one go. And Doric's quest completed. Nice. Druidic Ritual time. And Druidic Ritual, if this guy would stop moving. Thank you. Alright, now we can train the herb lore skill. Pretty nice. I have some guams in the bank, and I've been planting some seeds, so we will be able to train that a bit, but I'm going to go do the, whatever quest it's called, recruitment drive, get our free herblore experience from that, and then I'll probably end up doing a few more quests, and then we can move on with the next stage, which is going to be working towards Fremenic Trials, and then once we have that finished, then we can work on getting everything else. Alright, recruitment drive completed, 1k prayer, herblore, and agility experience, and we can now wear initiate armor. Now, initiate armor is pretty useless to us, and we need to do the Slug Menace quest, so we can get Proselyte at some point, but I'm not really too worried about that right now. I don't really think that does anything for us except for get us to 10 herblore, which is pretty nice because I believe now we can do the dig site. And yeah, that's a pretty quick quest, to be honest. So I'm going to get on that, and then we can do the, what's it called, Lost Tribe, and then Death to the Dorgashin. Alright, should be the end of the dig site. So pretty quick, not going to lie. Fairly boring, but it's whatever. So now that we're done with this quest, we can move on and do the Lost Tribe and then Death to the Dorgashin. So those should be fairly quick. 17 herblore, pretty nice. I might end up doing a few more quests, like Shades of Morton, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to go ahead and do that just yet. But yeah, pretty nice progress being made. Alright, Lost Tribe quest completed. We get a free Ring of Life, which is going to be pretty much the best ring that we have for a very, very, very long time, especially since this is a hardcore Ironman. And now we can do Death to the Dorgashin, and we get 35 mining too. So that's pretty sick. I think I have everything for Death to the Dorgashin completed. I do. So let's get right on it. All easy Artie Diaries done. I figured I'd go ahead and actually finish this because by now this is actually becoming a meme where I say every episode that I'm going to do the Artie Diaries and then I never do them. So Artie Diaries finished. I needed to get rope anyways. That's why I wanted to go to Artie, because that's the closest place to get rope as far as I am concerned. So yeah, now we can grab our rope and grab our XP lamp. I am fairly certain, not 100% certain, but fairly certain that I need to be level 30 in the stat before I use the lamp on it. So I'm going to be carrying it around on me for quite some time, at least until I get level 30 herblore. Which, in all honesty, shouldn't take too long because there are a few quests that I still have left to do, and if it really comes to it, I'll probably just grind Chaos Druids or something over here in Artie and just do that. But as for now, I'm just going to collect the reward from the Artie Diaries, get my free Artie Cape, and of course get the rope from the store. I just had a close as fuck encounter. My lights went out because I fell in the river and we almost started taking damage, but I couldn't relight the candles because we were right next to the swamp gas. That was way too spooky. That quest was way too annoying. What the hell? Anyways, 2k ranged and 2k thieving, and we now get the ability to thieve from Dorgashin Rich Chests, which is pretty nice because that is what we're going to be doing for 95 thieving. I think I've already said that a bunch of times, but I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. So I think this is a pretty good point to end the episode because we got quite a lot done today. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.